Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show. Before I get on out of here, I had to talk about a story that's very, very important. And albeit indirectly, it involves Caitlin.
You'd think handing a rookie the crown jewel of jersey numbers would automatically command respect. Think again. Stephen A. Smith just revealed a bombshell that has Team USA's leadership scrambling in unprecedented chaos. This development threatens to upend the entire WNBA hierarchy overnight. Insiders say Team USA didn't just bring Caitlin Clark back as a formality, they went even further, offering her the iconic number 12 jersey. But this isn't any ordinary number. It's Diana Taurasi's legendary number, the ultimate emblem of excellence in women's basketball history. Instead of silently going along like previous rookies, Caitlin Clark, with Sophie Cunningham by her side, reportedly looked the committee straight in the eye and declared, "We're not playing." The WNBA now faces a harsh truth. Its authority is no longer absolute, and the fallout could be seismic. To truly understand the magnitude of this shockwave, look at the legacy behind that number. Jersey 12 isn't just cloth. It's a crown in women's basketball, proudly worn by Diana Taurasi for more than 2 decades of dominance. That number 12 represents more than a mere digit. It embodies the White Mamba, the veteran powerhouses, and the legendary Yukon dynasty. By offering this sacred jersey to Caitlin Clark, the Olympic Committee has exposed just how desperate they've grown. They see the ratings collapsing without her, sense the fans' rising outrage, and resorted to their most extreme pandering move yet, attempting to overshadow a living legend in favor of the rookie they had disrespected for months. They completely miscalculated the situation. The committee assumed Caitlin Clark would quietly accept their so-called gesture, believing the prestige of the number could erase months of obvious disrespect. They couldn't have been more wrong. Stephen A. Smith, however, refused to let this unfold in silence. On his latest broadcast, he went full force, exposing the behind-the-scenes truth that mainstream media is too timid to report. He confirmed the jersey offer and didn't hold back, calling it a transparent and pathetic attempt at saving face. Smith emphasized that months of sidelining veterans, undermining a rising star, and leaving her off the Olympic roster couldn't simply be erased with a single number. As he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't about basketball anymore. It's about respect." Caitlin Clark immediately saw through the committee's manipulation. Taking that legendary number would have put a massive target on her back, making it appear as though she was trying to claim Taurasi's throne before the veteran was ready to step aside. That alone could have intensified locker room tensions far beyond what already existed. But the narrative takes a dramatic turn. Enter Sophie Cunningham. Over the past several months, headlines have tried to paint Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark as fierce rivals, especially following those high-stakes showdowns between the Fever and the Mercury. The storyline seemed obvious. Sophie, the guardian of the old guard, versus Caitlin, the hungry newcomer aiming to dominate. But recent developments reveal a shocking twist. Sophie Cunningham is reportedly refusing to suit up alongside Caitlin for Team USA, signaling that alliances within the team might be far more fractured than anyone ever expected. Sophie isn't stepping away without reason. She's clearly read the writing on the wall. Insider reports suggest she's grown exhausted by the petty politics and toxic, mean girl energy that have plagued locker rooms across the league this season. If the WNBA can treat its brightest talents this way, what hope remains for hardworking players like Sophie, who grind relentlessly day in and day out? She's drawing a bold line in the sand, and what's happening now could easily be called the first true player revolt in modern WNBA history. Refusing to take the court, even with the prestige of Jersey 12 dangled like bait, Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham are effectively stripping the league of 2 of its most valuable assets, unmatched generational talent and the fearless personalities that drive fan passion. The message couldn't be clearer. Players are no longer intimidated by the old establishment. The committee assumed a flashy gesture and a few polite words would make everyone comply. Instead, they were met with outright defiance. Let's be real. A Team USA roster missing these 2 stars, especially after all the controversy and plunging ratings, now looks like a team trapped in the past rather than leading toward the future. But the reasoning behind their refusal may shock even more than the decision itself. This is the explosive piece of the puzzle that has the WNBA reeling, and it's a story only Stephen A. Smith has exposed. For weeks, Smith has been dropping hints, teasing a narrative mainstream media won't touch. Rumors suggest that outside investors are watching this chaos unfold, checkbooks in hand. We're talking private equity groups and potentially overseas leagues planning to launch something new, a rival league or a massive tournament capable of challenging the Olympics. Caitlin and Sophie's refusal to play for Team USA could very well be because they know a billion-dollar safety net is waiting for them elsewhere. Why tolerate petty jealousy, brutal fouls, and toxic locker room politics over a jersey when you have the power to start your own league and make the rules? Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham's stand isn't just a refusal, it's a bold warning shot, signaling that the WNBA's long-standing monopoly on women's basketball may be on the verge of collapse. The timing of the Jersey 12 offer speaks volumes. It came right after reports showed ticket sales surging only for games featuring Caitlin, while interest in the old guard squads remained stagnant. League executives aren't oblivious, they watch the numbers closely. Without Caitlin, the growth they brag about disappears. Offering Taurasi's number was a desperate Hail Mary, a clear plea: fine, you win. You are the face of the league now. Please save us. Caitlin Clark's refusal sends an unmistakable message: she holds all the leverage. She doesn't need the league's approval, and she certainly doesn't need Taurasi's number to prove her greatness. Her own iconic number 22 has already surpassed what 12 symbolized, becoming a marker of dominance in just the past 6 years. Stephen A. Smith also shed light on the internal dynamics of the Phoenix Mercury, making Sophie Cunningham's role in all this even more compelling and unpredictable. In a surprising twist, Sophie Cunningham aligning with Caitlin Clark on this boycott is sending shockwaves through what was once considered paradise in Arizona. Could it be that veteran reluctance to pass the torch has started to alienate even their own teammates? Sophie is a fierce competitor, but she's also calculated. She sees that the future of the league belongs to the fast-paced, high-scoring, deep three style that Caitlin brings to the floor. By siding with her, Sophie isn't just taking a moral stand, she's protecting her own career trajectory and distancing herself from a generation increasingly perceived by fans as bitter gatekeepers. The disrespect Stephen A. Smith has been highlighting goes far beyond a simple Olympic snub. It's about the deafening silence when Caitlin was repeatedly hard-fouled, face-guarded across the entire court, or even hip-checked by Kennedy Carter. The league's inaction sent a loud and clear message, and Caitlin's decisive response has completely flipped the narrative. After months of silence, the Team USA committee suddenly decided to offer Caitlin Clark the program's most prestigious jersey. The move comes across as awkward and disingenuous, almost like a last-minute bribe. Sources say Caitlin's camp was deeply insulted by the gesture. Their point is clear: if Team USA truly respected her, she would have earned her spot on merit back in June, not been dangled a number in August after executives realized their TV ratings were plummeting. Then there's the Diana Taurasi factor. While she hasn't publicly weighed in on this rumor, imagine how that discussion went behind closed doors. Did the committee even consult Diana before offering her iconic number to a rookie? If they did, it may signal that she's ready to retire. But if they didn't, which seems entirely possible given the committee's panic, they just disrespected one of the greatest players in women's basketball history in an attempt to appease a rising star. This is the level of chaos Caitlin Clark has exposed. The league is so unprepared for this kind of stardom that it's burning bridges with its legends just to try to keep up. Fan sentiment couldn't be more obvious. Head to any comment section, forum, or Twitter thread, and support for Caitlin and Sophie is overwhelming. The narrative has shifted entirely. The old "pay your dues" argument is dead. Fans saw Caitlin's dominance in the All-Star game, and they are loudly making it clear who the true face of the league is. Stephen A. Smith, naturally, is reveling in every moment of this unfolding chaos. No one could ignore Caitlin Clark as she shattered assist records and dominated every court she stepped on. Her talent was undeniable. So when the committee attempted a stunt like offering her jersey 12, it came across as nothing more than a desperate grab. It looked like the league trying to hijack Caitlin's brand to prop up their own struggling image. By refusing, Caitlin and Sophie are actually boosting their popularity. They're turning into anti-heroes, boldly standing up against a system that tried to hold them back. It's the classic us versus the world story, and ironically, the WNBA wrote the script for them. And of course, there's the money, because in professional sports, it always comes down to dollars. Stephen A. Smith pointed out that TV partners are furious. NBC, ESPN, Amazon, they invested huge sums expecting the Caitlin Clark effect to carry through the Olympics and playoffs. By leaving her off the roster, Team USA essentially torched millions in ad revenue. Offering jersey 12 was likely a move forced by these networks, probably along the lines of, "Fix this, or we renegotiate." Caitlyn's refusal, however, sends a crystal-clear message: she knows her value. She isn't a replaceable cog shuffled around to boost ratings, she is the franchise. If she opts out, the entire machine grinds to a halt. Then there's the locker room culture. Had Caitlyn accepted jersey 12, imagine the potential hazing and resentment she would have faced. This isn't just about a number, it's about respect, influence, and reshaping the league from the inside out. Picture the outrage from veteran players: "Oh, you think you're Diana now? You think you've earned that?" The backlash would have been merciless. Accepting that number could have further isolated Caitlyn, creating unbearable tension in the locker room. By saying no, she avoids the trap entirely, maintaining humility in public while projecting strength to management. And with Sophie Cunningham standing firmly by her side, the old narrative that all the players dislike Caitlyn collapses. It proves that the smart, forward-thinking players, the ones genuinely invested in growing the league, are firmly on her side. This refusal effectively divides the WNBA into two clear camps: those committed to elevating the game, and those clinging desperately to their old positions. Stephen A. Smith also pointed out a painfully obvious truth about the selection committee, asking, who are these people really protecting? The decision to leave Caitlyn off the roster was initially justified as a basketball choice, claiming she lacked experience. Yet offering jersey 12 completely contradicts that logic. You don't hand a rookie the captain's number if you truly believe she's inexperienced. This inconsistency exposes the truth: the initial snub was personal and petty, and now the committee looks weak as it scrambles to backpedal. Stephen A. Smith's commentary highlights the deep fractures within WNBA leadership, revealing decisions fueled more by emotion and panic than by logic or long-term strategy. The pressing question now: what does this upheaval mean for the future of Team USA and the league as a whole? If Caitlyn Clark and Sophie Cunningham stay firm in their refusal, Team USA could enter the Paris Games, and future tournaments, under a cloud of uncertainty. Every missed basket, every dip in ratings, will shine a glaring spotlight on the two stars who aren't on the court. The shadow of jersey 12 will loom over anyone who dares wear it. Should Diana Taurasi don it, critics will argue she's clinging too long. If someone else takes it, the question will inevitably linger: why wasn't it Caitlyn's? The committee has engineered a lose-lose scenario, turning what should have been a celebration of basketball into a political spectacle, and they have no one to blame but themselves. There's another compelling dimension to Sophie Cunningham's role. As a soon-to-be free agent, she's been the heart and soul of Phoenix for years, a player fans admire for her grit and determination, yet often lived in the shadows of the Big Three. By siding with Caitlyn, Sophie elevates her own brand, transforming from a respected role player into one half of the most talked-about duo in the sport. Rumors are already swirling that Caitlyn and Sophie could team up in the off-season, potentially joining the new unrivaled 3-on-3 league being launched by Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, a move capable of shaking up the entire landscape of women's basketball. Picture Caitlyn Clark and Sophie Cunningham on the same team, dominating a league that directly challenges the WNBA's marketing power. That scenario is a nightmare for the commissioner, and this refusal to play for Team USA is just the opening move toward that reality. Stephen A. Smith ended his segment with a blunt warning for the league: you cannot fight the future. He drew a parallel to the NBA of the 80s and 90s, when a superstar arrives who reshapes the geometry of the game, you build around them. You don't haze them, and you certainly don't attempt to force them into a restrictive box. The WNBA tried to confine Caitlyn to the rookie who waits her turn box, and she shattered it. Then they attempted to push her into the heir apparent box with the jersey 12 offer, and she rejected that as well. Caitlyn is carving her own path, and that terrifies those accustomed to controlling the narrative. This refusal also highlights a huge disconnect between the WNBA's business side and its players. Executives want Caitlyn plastered on every poster and commercial, wearing the league's most iconic jersey. Meanwhile, the old guard wants to gatekeep, protect their spots, and resist change. The committee tried to bridge that gap with the jersey 12 offer, but the bridge was already burned. Caitlyn knows the business side values her, but after months of physical beatings, snubs, and disrespect, she doesn't trust the basketball side, and who could blame her? Only Sophie Cunningham seems to grasp the bigger picture. If the business side fails, the players lose out on their salaries. She's aligning with where the money flows, and the money is firmly behind Caitlin Clark. As the season progresses, this narrative will hover over every game. Each time the Fever faces the Mercury, cameras will be searching for signs of this quiet rebellion, and fans will scrutinize every move, fully aware that the WNBA no longer holds complete control. Whenever the Mercury take the court, all eyes will be on Sophie Cunningham's interactions with Diana Taurasi. The Jersey 12 incident has become the ultimate symbol of the WNBA's identity crisis. Are they a league grounded in history and tradition, or one built entirely on entertainment and star power? By trying to be both with the Jersey 12 offer, they failed on every front. They disrespected the game's legacy while simultaneously failing to retain their brightest star. It's a masterclass in how not to manage a professional sports league. What comes next? Will the committee return with an even bigger offer? Will they grovel publicly, or double down by attempting to smear Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham through the media? Stephen A. Smith predicts the latter. He believes anonymous sources will begin leaking negative stories about Caitlin's attitude, trying to rationalize the committee's failures, but the fans are far too savvy for that. The Jersey 12 offer has now become the smoking gun. It proves the league wanted her badly enough to compromise its own history, and she said no. That refusal is the ultimate power move, completely shifting leverage to the players. The WNBA is in checkmate, and it was a rookie and a role player who put them there. Ultimately, this isn't just about a number on a jersey. It's about a changing of the guard, a transformation in the league's power structure that is happening whether the establishment likes it or not. Team USA just played a dangerous game, and they lost spectacularly. Attempting to use Diana Taurasi's legendary legacy as a bargaining chip completely backfired. Now, the league faces a future where its brightest star and one of its most respected veterans are sitting out by choice. Stephen A. Smith was right, jealousy and mismanagement have finally pushed the players too far. The bigger question isn't whether Caitlin Clark will ever step back into a Team USA jersey, it's whether Team USA will still matter by the time she chooses to return. For the first time in history, the ball isn't in their hands, and no one is waiting for them to make a move. Think offering a rookie the most legendary number in women's basketball would be enough to smooth things over? Think again. Sources reveal that Team USA didn't just invite Caitlin back to the roster in a last-ditch effort to salvage their image, they went further, offering her jersey number 12. But this isn't just any number on a mesh tank top. This is Diana Taurasi's iconic number, the holy grail of women's basketball, a symbol of greatness that transcends generations. Rather than quietly taking the offer and falling in line like every rookie before her, Caitlin Clark, standing side by side with Sophie Cunningham, reportedly stared the committee straight in the eye and declared, "We're not playing." That daring move sent shockwaves throughout the WNBA, making it painfully obvious that the league no longer controls the narrative. The ripple effects of this decision are only just beginning, and the fallout could reshape the entire future of women's basketball. What do you think? Was Caitlin's bold stand the right move? Share your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button, and subscribe for the latest updates on the game-changing stories that are shaking the WNBA to its core.